So I'm gonna be talking about Black and White Love. I did a review on this a while ago when I watched this at the beginning of the year, and I absolutely loved it, and I kind of did like a how much I love this show review, and you guys really liked it, so I decided to make a video rating the characters because someone did comment on that one saying you should rate the characters. So I'm not going to do like a number rating. I'm going to give you my favorites, give you my least favorites, and then give you the ones in between. And then kind of describe each character, what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them. And that's how we're going to do like a character analysis kind of. Someone commented on that video that I should do this, and since that video is literally my most popular video right now, I decided why not give the people what they want. So I'm going to be going through a list of characters. This is not going to be every single character that is on the screen, but these are going to be some of the main characters and the ones I thought were more relevant that I remember, because it was a while since I've seen the show. So I kind of went in the character list, see which ones I remember, see which ones I can describe better and ones stuck out to me. Okay, so my top two characters, of course, are Farat and Asli. I love them. They're my top two. They're the main characters of this show. So let's start with Farat. Absolutely love his character. I also think that his character development throughout the show is great. We do see him as this like dark, bad guy, works for his uncle and all this stuff. It's almost like he doesn't really have a conscience. He just does what he's told and works for his uncle, does whatever he wants. But you do see that family is very important to him. But then when he meets Asli, things kind of change for him. He becomes more compassionate, more lovable, and then eventually ends up starting a family and everything. So I really did enjoy his character. I enjoyed his relationship with Asli and how he grew and kind of didn't want to do the bad things he wanted to do anymore because of her. He wanted to become a better person, and you do see that throughout the show. What I don't like, especially near the beginning, was his possessiveness of her and like controlling. I can understand near the beginning he didn't want her to run away, he didn't want her to leave, he wanted her to stay with him, personal reasons and like kind of like business reasons, I would say, because their relationship kind of started as like a business transaction. She was going to marry him, and in return he wasn't going to kill her. So it wasn't like a love at first sight. So I kind of understand why he was like, she can't run away, she can't go tell the world this arrangement, and if she's learning like family secrets because she's going to be living with him in their house, then she can't go run away and she can't let her go to police. So that's one thing I can understand his character in the beginning. But then as he starts to fall for her, as what I thought they started to begin to have trust with each other, whenever she kind of did something he did not like, or where he felt like he could not trust her, he would go back to those possessive ways and like kind of lock her up again, wouldn't let her leave or anything like that, be very controlling. That is what I didn't like about his character, because I feel like he developed so much and they were building this bond, this friendship, and it wasn't like she did anything terrible. Most times she didn't really like betray him like so bad, but he would go back to like lock her up or put her in a room. If this is really his personality, he might revert back to those ways. If he feels like someone is untrustworthy, he might go back to what he originally knew. But I didn't like that in the story. Like when I felt like their relationship had gotten to a certain point where they should have a good foundation, I didn't like how he kind of brought them back. Okay, Asli. I love her so much. She is a strong, independent woman. She is not easily going to be pushed around. As you can see from when she does first meet Farat, she tries to run. She does try to take her chances and get away from him as soon as she can, to because that is her personality. She's not gonna go down without a fight. So that is what I really love about her. And I also love the relationship with her and Farat as well. You see how her feelings for him change. At first she sees him as a monster, as a truly bad guy, but then as the season progresses, you see that she starts to have feelings for him. She sees him not as a monster. She sees how he cares for his family, how he cares for her, and so on and so on. So she does see that and how that's changing and how she's kind of helping him change. Another thing I didn't like about what I didn't love about Asli is that she would call him a monster. Like I said, with Farat, when they had that foundation, sometimes he would go back. With Asli, even though they had the foundation, she would like, you're a monster, you're a bad guy. Like, blame him again. And that's some things I didn't like about their relationship. They would go back to their old ways, and you would think that they would progress at a certain point in time, and they did. And then they're like, oh, you're a monster, you're a bad guy, you're bringing all this evil to us. That's the only thing I didn't love. I did love Asli. I loved her relationship with her brother. I loved her relationship with Farat. And I also loved her relationship with Ghulsome. She didn't really know these people a whole lot when she first started there, but she was willing to keep a secret and protect their secret from him, even though she knew that could put her in danger. Okay, so those were the two that I loved in the show. Those are my top two characters. Some people that were like in between, I didn't love them as much as these two, but they were good characters and I enjoyed seeing them. So we're gonna start with her brother, Asli's brother, Chen. I do like his character. In the beginning, he tried his best to save his sister from marrying Farat, and he failed, and he couldn't do that. And continuously he tried to save her, try to get her out of that, but he could never like win. But then as time went on, he did see that Farat truly did care about her, even though if Farat didn't want to like admit it, or even if Asli didn't want to admit how she felt, he saw something in both of them. And once he did see that, he kind of backed off a little bit about taking her away, because he could see that they cared about each other. He still sometimes within the show would say, let me protect you, let me take you out of this situation, come back home with me, which I can understand as a brother would do, always want to protect his sister, not want to put her in danger. But he did know Farat cared for her and wanted to protect her. And I think that was something he actually respected Farat for, and he might not put him 100% at ease, but I think that's something he felt better about his sister living with him, knowing that Farat felt about her. And the other brother that I really liked watching was Iji. He was more of a person you saw on screen, and the brother Farat, and I really enjoyed his character and loved his relationship with Farat and how that blossomed and grew as well. In the beginning, definitely he was like, I need to put Namek in jail, and he was willing to take Farat down with him. He didn't want his brother to do any more bad things. He was like, I want you out of this life. And he kind of resented him for choosing that life and not choosing the life of justice like he had. But then eventually, as the season goes on, him and his brother kind of form a bond again. They are hanging out more, talking more, discussing things. They're more brothers than strangers. I love his family and his relationship with his wife. I loved how he wants to protect Farat, and him and Asli kind of work together to protect him as well. Near the end, they're like, we don't want you in danger. We don't want you to be the bad guy anymore. We want to help you get out of this life. So kind of seeing his brother and his relationship grow. Iggy is also like very family oriented. His family comes first. Ultimately, he wants to protect his brother, protect his wife, protect his mother, his sister. He wants to protect everyone and get them away from Namek, because he does not believe Namek is a good guy, which he is correct. So next one I'm going to talk about is Abidin. He was like a bodyguard there, but he was also like Farat's cousin and his second hand, like one of his second-hand men that would go with him anytime there was a situation or anytime he needed help. I really liked his character. To me, he was more of the pure-hearted guys within the show, and you especially saw that with him and Ghulsome. Definitely when their relationship started, he did not want anything from her. He was like, I will marry you and I will protect you with the baby, just so you have someone to be there for you. Like, he wasn't really expecting anything from her, and I think that was very sweet of him, very nice of him to do that. So just so kind. He wanted to stay, he wanted to be with his son, even though it wasn't really his son, it's his adopted son, and he wanted to protect Ghulsome wholeheartedly. And that was one of the sweetest things throughout the show. Like, he found out this wasn't his real son. He found out it wasn't by the woman he loved, and he still went and married this girl. And then he found out who the real father was, which was his brother-in-law, because the real father was married to his sister, but he still was with Ghulsome and protect her and help her. And that's one thing I love about him. And he was even willing to go up to Farat. He's like, shoot me then. Shoot me, like, do whatever you want to me, but I want to help your sister. I want to protect your sister and everything like that. So he was willing to put his life on the line because he knew Farat would not be happy about him marrying his sister. He did it anyway, and this is why I love this dude so much. I just love it. He's like, that's why I say he's one of the pure-hearted guys. Even though he has his mom yapping in his ear like, oh, you're a real descendant, you should take Farat's power away from him. He never wanted to do that. He never wanted to disrespect Farat. He never wanted to, like, disrespect anyone in the family. He's like, mother, I'm not going to do that. He didn't let people take too much advantage of him. The other guy that helped Farat out a lot was Dilsey. I liked him a lot. He didn't really talk a lot, but his expressions were the best, and he would usually be there when Farat's like, take her home, like, Osley, take Osley home, I need you to come here to help me and Osley, things like that. He would just be there whenever he was needed. And there's a lot of times Osley's like, no, I'm gonna get in the car, or like Farat and Osley are fighting and he's just like there, he's like, what am I supposed to, I don't know what to do right now. His expressions were hilarious, but he was always there, very dependable. He was quiet, so he didn't really spill any secrets or anything, but he had a relationship with one of the maids there. But yeah, I loved him, and I loved like when he like started falling in love. So yeah, I really liked his character, and I think he was super nice. He was also dedicated and true to Farat whenever he was needed. He's like a really good friend. Like, these are more than assistants, these were like really good friends, like almost family to Farat, and I really liked both him and Abidin. So those were the characters I liked, and they were kind of like in between. So now we're going to get more into characters I liked, but there were definitely something that I didn't like about them. So here we go. Ghulsome, I did like Ghulsome, but honestly her character kind of annoyed me a lot of times in this season. First of all, when she was pregnant, and I was like, girl, you're pregnant, you're starting the show. Honestly, in the first episode, I saw she was pregnant, and I'm like, does no one else notice? Ghulsome, I definitely did not like her in the beginning. I think the only time I liked her was when she was with Abidin. That's when I started to like her more. But in the beginning, when she was pregnant and when she was with Cnet, I was like, girl, what you doing? And how he kept bringing her back, and she kept falling for it. Sometimes I feel like when she got in arguments, her side of the argument was very useless, or like her points were not strong points to be made, or she shouldn't have been mad, or it's not as mad as she came off to be. So that was a lot with her, so that's one reason I didn't like her character. But I definitely loved her character with Abidin. When they had that relationship, when they started to fall in love with each other, I loved it, and he was just so sweet to her. I think she needed him at that time, because I feel like she felt very, I don't want to say worthless, but not wanted, because Cnet didn't want her. Her mother was talking very rudely to her and kind of told her she was stupid and everything. And then Farat, he was angry with her with the baby and everything. That's when I started liking Ghulsome. So I didn't love her in the beginning, but I liked her in the end. And while I was talking about Cnet, this dude, if you saw my review, you said I thought he was like a cockroach, like you could not kill him. This dude, hated him in the beginning, hated him. I was like, this guy is terrible, he needs to die. I don't like his character. He was just causing all these problems. He's very untrustworthy and no one knew it. But then near the middle to the end, finding a way to stay alive, and I was like, if he's staying alive and this many people hate him and he's staying alive through this show, he deserves to be alive. I definitely hated his character, but then I appreciated what his character was doing towards the end of the season, and he still's not dead, he's in jail. I didn't dislike his character as much as some others, but I do appreciate his character's ways. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Yeether, the mother, so I don't hate her, but I don't love her. I understand why she did a lot of things she did, because she was a mother trying to protect her children, and you can tell she has unconditional love for her kids. And I think especially for Farat, she will almost do anything for him to make him happy, because I feel like he has a lot of hatred in his heart for her, stemming from their childhood. And that's why I think she was willing to go with this, like, oh, he's gonna marry Osley and lock her in a tower, or lock her away, sorry. And she just went with it. I was like, are you serious? So literally anything Farat did, she was like okay with, which I didn't understand in the beginning, but I think she was trying to mend that relationship with him. Did she do it in the best of ways in the beginning? No, but towards the end, they definitely found a good middle road and were working towards that relationship to get better. She can be a villain in some points of the season because of the secrets she kept, but I honestly think she had a mother's love. She is not a woman to mess with, definitely, because she can hold her own. But I definitely think her character developed a whole lot. Because at first she was this woman and you're like, oh my goodness, she's just doing whatever her son says, whatever Namek says, and that's it. And that's what you kind of think until you learn more and more about her story and what she has gone through. And I kind of give her prop. I didn't love her 100%. There was definitely some things I don't agree with that she did. But then I think at the end, how they kind of finish her story was really, really great. Like, she found out she's sick and she's just willing to give up and die because of all the hurt she did to her kids, not just Farat, to her other son and then her daughter as well. Like, she did hurt them, and they were all kind of scarred from that when they were younger, and bring that into their adulthood. But I do appreciate her, and especially with her and Edel, and even Hadan, when they went against each other, she did hold her ground, and that's what I like about this woman. Okay, let's talk about Namek. I had mentioned him throughout. Definitely a great villain. I love to hate him, and I think he did really well. He had so many secrets, and he kept them all. And I was like, this dude is a great villain. He was like the mob boss. He would be in a suit, send his henchmen over to kill you, and rule the world, you know? I think he was a great villain. He had all the secrets. He was controlling people. He was manipulative. He kept a huge secret from Farat that he was really his father. He kept another secret that he killed his adopted father. Like, all these things this dude did, and I don't really think he had remorse for most of it. He probably had remorse for not telling Farat like he was his father, but this guy was a great villain. Okay, now we're about to get into my least favorite characters of the entire show. These are the people I did not like. I hated their characters. Yeah. Didn't really like anything about them. Hated their character. Okay, so we're gonna start with Vildan. Hated her. Honest, I just did not like her character at all. She's one of my least favorite. Not my least, but one of the least favorite people. You could tell she had a thing for Farat, and I was like, whatever. Didn't really care too much about her, but you knew she was being cheated on by Cnet. There was a point I did feel sorry for her, because when she finds out that he's kind of cheating and he's being very, like, abusive towards her, more of verbally abusive, but there are points where he does get a little physical. So those points I did feel really bad for her, because she didn't really know the man she was marrying. But other than that, did not like her. Especially towards the end of the season, when you find out that Farat is the father of her daughter, and then she keeps trying to win Farat back, and he's literally married to someone else. Never showed her any type of affection except for one drunken night when he was drunk. But she's still like, oh, Farat this, Farat that. I was like, girl, you need to get over it. And then hating Asli, which I guess I know why she hated him, because she went Farat, but like, girl, stop. Yeah, I just didn't like her character. And then let's talk about her mother, Hadan. That woman she just seemed so bitter, and felt like she hated everyone in the house, basically, except for her own children. Even her children annoyed her, but she just complained about everything, didn't have a good thing to say about anyone. Anytime she was annoyed at Farat, she's annoyed at Asli, annoyed at Namek, annoyed at Ether, annoyed at her daughter, everything. And I was like, can you find something not to complain about? So yeah, just did not like her. And here we go to the two characters I hated the absolute most. Juliet and Edel. My two least favorite characters. Juliet I like a little bit more, because she did kill Edel and kind of cover it up and everything. Juliet was just crazy. And I was like, can this girl pick an emotion? Because she's everywhere. So she gets mad. So her mother dies, then she comes back, she kills her uncle, and then she infiltrates Asli's or Farat's family through Asli, because she's Asli's niece. And then she's just literally crazy. She just starts all this drama. And I'm like, and then she tries to kill Asli and then calls for help. I'm like, I don't know what she wants. I just don't know. She was just so confusing. Such an annoying character. And I was just like, I just want her to leave or be killed off. One of the two. I just did not like her. She just started unnecessary drama, and she was just annoying. And I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot stand this girl. Anyway, she was just so all over the place. At first, I thought the act of loving Asli was just an act to her. She was just putting on a show. But then she tries to kill her, and then she calls for help. She's like, someone help. Oh, she's in there, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, if you're trying to... now you get a conscience when she's actually about to die. and you did all this. And I was like, you had no problem killing her brother though. And then she runs away. And I was like, this girl, I just could not. And then she was so unimportant that you didn't even really get to see her death. You just see Namek burning her clothes. Like, that's how unimportant her death was in this show. I was like, I guess there's a right, you know, it wasn't that great. And then my least favorite character was Evil. Oh my goodness, I just hated her so much. She was literally so annoying to me. So annoying. She was like, at first I was like, okay, her and Namek, whatever, just an assistant, they fall in love. But then when she came in the house, she was like making, you know, trying to have all these demands, this and that. And I was like, Namek ain't gonna leave this house. I'm like, girl, you got another thing coming, thinking all these people are just gonna do what you want to do because you're Namek's, you're gonna be Namek's wife. And I'm like, nah, you need to calm down. Yeah, she was annoying. And then pheromones or whatever scent Namek is giving off that women want him like that. Maybe it's the power. Because I was like, I don't know why all y'all want him. Calm down. But yeah, Idil was just, she was a lot. She tried to start drama with everyone, and she would literally lose because Farat was his son, and Yither was the mother of Farat. So she tried to like kick her out. No. She was the one I hated the most in the entire show. I was glad when she died. Literally, she died, and then they just wrote a note that she left, and no one really questioned it. That's how unimportant she was, because no one questioned why she was leaving. They're just like, oh, let her go. I'm like, okay. Weird, but okay. Okay, those were the characters that I rated or kind of did a little synopsis on if I liked them, loved them, hated them, or whatever I thought about them for Black and White Love. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know you really enjoyed the review. So if you're interested and you haven't seen it yet, I do have a review on the show where I go into so much detail on how much I love it. So definitely go check that out. I'll definitely link it in the description box below. But if you want more from this show, more anything about the show, definitely let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching the first one and commenting and recommending doing the character analysis and rating the characters. Really liked it. Never thought of it until someone commented, so I appreciate that comment. And if you have any more comments, let me know. Also, if you have any other Turkish dramas I should check out, because I really want to check another one out, because this one was so good and I loved it. So again, thanks for watching. I will leave my website below for more TV content recommendations on TV. There's a lot more on my blog, so you can go check that out. You can definitely go follow me on Twitter anytime I post a video or a blog post. It'll be up on there. And yeah, thanks you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.